There's a celebrated story in your years at Eureka College about one of your college football teammates, William Burkhart, was a black member of the team.
Yes.
And he couldn't get into a hotel where the whole team was supposed to stay, so you took him to your home in Dixon, Illinois, where he was immediately put up with another black teammate. People who look at that story say, well, Ronald Reagan seemed to be more sensitive about those kinds of things then than he has been as the President of the United States, and maybe it's because he bumped up against them in a first-hand way back in Eureka.
That whole thing has been the hardest burden, I think, of all that I have borne here, is that idea that I am not as sensitive and that somehow I am discriminating and so forth. And it is not true. That household I was raised in, my mother and father, the thing my brother and I grew up knowing was that there was no greater sin than prejudice or discrimination. And this was back in the days when there was discrimination generally. And in Eureka College, yes, what happened was that we had to stay overnight in our hometown on a way, the bus, load of players on a way to a Saturday game. And I took the coach in, introduced him to the manager of the hotel, and he said that he would take everybody but those two. Well, our coach, Mac, he said, well, we'll sleep in the bus. And he turned to, because the man had said also that no other hotel would either. There weren't many hotels in that little town. And we started out, and I told Mac, I said, we can't do that. I said, if they'll know what the reason is and be embarrassed. Well, he said, what can we do? When he had told me that I couldn't stay at home, even though I had a home there. And I said, well, why don't we just say there isn't enough room for everybody? And you put me and the two fellows in a cab and we'll go home. And even then, he, feeling as upset as he did, he said, you sure you want to do that? And I said, yes. I knew my home. No chance to call or anything. Home, and rang the doorbell, and Nellie came to the door. My brother and I decided to call our parents by their first name after we got to a certain age. Came to the door, and I said, Nellie, there isn't enough room in the hotel for all of us. Can we put up here? Well, she never, of course you can put up here, and in we came. And that wasn't unusual for the way I was raised or brought up at all.